Why do people hate Belal Muhammad so much? I found myself wondering, how could a decent man like that garner so much hate? I really don't understand. Remember one thing I ever learned about the guy? He's actually a really decent dude. Loves his family. I think he has kids. Let me check. It says he has them, but even Wikipedia doesn't know if he has kids. For sure. Doesn't know how many. He could have 50 kids. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove it. 50 kids. And with a man who has potentially 50 children, you'd expect the world to be a little nicer to the man. But they're not. You're not. You're not nice to him. That said, I did try to watch a bunch of his fights when I was researching this video. I did get bored. It was a boring thing. I have to admit, watching many of my favorite fighters, Stephen Thompson and Leon Edwards, get wrestle humped to death over the course of 15 to 25 minutes, not my favorite thing. Not how I like to spend my time. That's just not who I am. I'm not that guy, okay? I'm not that dude, all right? So people are telling me, this guy sucks. He's bad for the UFC. We should get him out of here. It's in the nature of the business to try to pit the best dudes you can against the champion. This is why I hate John Jones so much, as we all know. But I don't think Belal has done anything wrong necessarily to gather the hate. I think it's worth a groan when I see him on the card, though. I'm just like, oh boy. And now that he's the champion, every fight that he's in, that he's not abjectly losing, is definitely going to be at least 25 minutes of watching the man wrestle hump some guy into a decision victory. And there's no way around it. There's nothing stopping that. Because as much as we might not like it, as much as the technique is something that everyone knows, he's going to climb on your back, push you against the fence, right on the back of you like a baby monkey. It seems like no one has gotten the answer together to stop this from happening. Even when everyone knows this is exactly what he's going to do. These are professional fighters. Professional fighters. And they have months to prepare for this dude. Months. And nobody is just like, all right, how do we stop this? How we stop this? Well, we could work on it real hard. Because his striking kind of sucks. He's got pillows for hands, and his speed ain't that great. Or we could train like we normally do and forget all about the wrestle humping that he's inevitably going to try. You can only blame the man so much. And true, he hasn't been doing it for so long like George St. Pierre did. I love George St. Pierre. Don't crucify me. Not that I have enough viewers to crucify myself. But it's literally just one fucking technique. He push you against the fence, he climb on your back, he holds you there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to see it stop, and I'm talking to the fighters directly, not that anyone is fucking listening to me. I'm talking to the fighters directly. If you don't want to lose to the man, try focusing on making sure that shit didn't happen. When Ilia Topuria was facing off against Ryan Hall had a very specific game plan, which was awesome. Everybody loved that game plan because it was great to see the Ibanari roll. Loved his stand back kicks to avoid damage, putting himself into a position where he'd be on the ground. People liked that. That was good stuff. Ilia Topuria, He was just like, well, I'm just going to study that. Make sure that my guys at my gym know how to do it so that I can practice defending against it. And once I've defended against it enough, I will have no problems beating Ryan Hall. Seemed good enough. And he fucking beat him. I think he beat him in round 1, too. Like, it's not that hard. If you guys really don't want to get beaten by the wrestle humper, forget the name. Just train it. And that is what I think Jack Della Maddalena... God, why is your name so goddamn long? Why is your name... Jack... Matty Boy. Matty Boy should be definitely doing that. And if he's not, he's a fucking idiot. Now, I get that, we all want to see Jack beat the dog shit out of him. Boxing is his strength. He knows how to hang out in the pocket and definitely shit on people. He's good on that. But the pocket is simultaneously the most dangerous place to be at with someone like Belal Muhammad. So, stylistically, it may not be the greatest matchup for Jack. I don't know. I'm sure he knows how to wrestle. I've seen him do it a few times. But getting close to a dude like Belal Muhammad, just so you can throw some hooks and some haymakers, dangerous. And Belal Muhammad, people shit on his striking, but it's, just because he doesn't have knockout power in his hand doesn't mean he doesn't know how to strike. And his strikes come from straights. It's another danger. If I'm Jack, Belal is looking like a real serious threat. If I'm putting my money down, I'm putting my money on Jack. On Belal. I don't want to, because I want to see an exciting fighter. But this is how my brain thinks. I look at their styles and I'm just like, I think this guy doesn't have a very good chance. And as much as I think Jack Della Maddalena is an interesting fighter, I don't think he has a very good chance. I just don't. I don't. And there's nothing to do about that except for Jack to train out of it. And if he can't, he's going to have a long night. There's just no two ways about it. I hope the man takes the time necessary and makes the right adjustments to train for this specific type of fight. If not, well, sign ourselves up for 6 more months at least. Maybe less. They do have a lot of UFC events these days. It's not like we're waiting potentially 9 months between UFC events. It's not the Dark Ages anymore with Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell. And Tito Ortiz. Oh my God. Hope for the best. Expect the worst. Is what I'm going to say. And as much as I regret this, I am going to suggest that if you are betting people, you bet on Belal. Because you can bet that Belal doesn't want a single piece of Jack's fisticuff pie. So, we'll see. We'll see if Jack can put some common sense into his training. And if he doesn't, it'll be all too obvious. Alright, here's that part of the video I hate so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks.